everybody. Welcome to day 3 of Gratitude Yoga Challenge. And welcome to our beautiful winter wonderland we have here. So yesterday we planted seeds of gratitude in our heart. And today we're inviting the flow of grace to nourish those seeds in our life. So grab your yoga stuff and I'll see you on the mat. See you then. Bye. And welcome everybody to day 3, inviting grace, the flow of grace into our lives. So yesterday, the intention was planting seeds of gratitude. The first day was opening up to the possibility of gratitude. So today, we're inviting that flow of grace to nourish these seeds of gratitude that we're planting. So for me, that's a pretty big word. Grace is that divine energy that infuses everything. So let's begin by invoking grace into our practice today. Bringing our hands together in front of our hearts and honoring that sacred space within us. And we'll take a deep breath in and chant one Om, that sacred primordial sound. Inhale. So taking a moment and inwardly invoking the grace of your own heart, softly bowing your head, allowing the mind to soften into your heart. And think of something that you are grateful for. Think of something new that you haven't thought of before. And place whatever it is, a person or a place or a sweet animal, whatever it is, place it in your heart. And breathe into that space of gratitude in your heart. With a deep inhale, expand that feeling like the sun shining inside, connecting to your inner light inside, your inner sun. Let's take a few moments connecting to that inner feeling, that sweetness. And whatever that image or thought is, allow it to grow within that feeling of gratitude. And may this feeling infuse your practice today, infuse your day or your evening. The next inhale, let's open up our eyes, open up our hands, and bring the hands up overhead, reaching up with deep inhale. And we're going to take an exhale out. Breathing out through the mouth. Maybe you make a big sigh, palms to the earth. And we'll do another big heart-opening inhale, reaching to the sky. Deep, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale long, blowing it out. One last deep inhale, palms up to the sky, reaching, breathing deep. Exhale long, connecting to that softness. So we're going to come onto all fours. If you have a blanket you're sitting on or pillow, move it to the side. So coming onto all fours, make your knees almost as wide as your mat here. Bring your toes in together. And we're going to sit back our hips towards our heels. Walk your fingertips over to the right, draping your body over your right knee. Walk the fingertips out more and soften over your knee, stretching and softening. And take a deep inhale, expanding the lungs in your back body. And exhale, softening even more, possibly over your knee. With the next inhale, rise up and let's walk our hands over to the left side, reaching out with our fingertips. Inhale, expand the lungs in your back body, and exhale, softening forward. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. Deep inhale and long exhale. Inhale, rise up. And let's bring the hands back to center. So walk the fingertips out like a spider. Lift the shoulders up towards the sky and soften the forehead towards the earth. Now let your hands be flat on your mat if they aren't already. Palms are flat and soften even more towards the floor. Releasing the hips down even more towards the heels. Softening in the shoulders. Softening in the space in between the shoulder blades, that space behind the heart. You're going to stay here for a couple more breaths, allowing the mind to soften into your heart. And I'm going to read a prayer of inviting grace into our being. Dear body, please give me permission to connect to my inner strength and well-being. Dear mind, I ask you with love to support me and reveal your stillness by turning my awareness inside. Dear heart, I honor you. Please open to the sweetness that is your true nature and allow my yoga and meditation and life to be filled with your grace. Taking another deep breath in, walk the hands towards you and we'll come up. We're going to come to all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We'll come into our first downward facing dog. So come up high on the toes. Bend your knees here. We're not going to come all the way into a downward facing dog. We're going to modify. So I really want your knees to be bent and try to stick your hips up high into the sky. Draw the shoulders up by the ears. Gaze in between your hands. Keeping your gaze in between your hands, step the right foot and then the left foot in between your hands. Bend the knees and inhale, rise up and draw your hands up overhead. Inhale, release the hands down, bend the knees and fold forward. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, lengthen through your spine here. Exhale, step your right foot back and the left to a downward facing dog again. Come up on the toes. Bend the knees. Gaze in between your hands. Lift the shoulders up by your ears with an inhale. Exhale, shift the weight back into your hips, lengthening through your spine as your head comes in between your arms here. Bring your attention to your feet. Drop your right heel towards the earth and then the left. We're going to pedal our legs. Call this walking the dog. Right and left. You can go in your own rhythm, one and then the other. And then bend your knees and let's come down to the earth. Lower your heart and your chest to the mat. And we'll draw our hands behind our back. Interlace the hands behind your back. I'm pressing my hands into my sacrum. And draw the shoulder blades onto the back as much as you can here. Inhale, lengthen through the torso. And lift the upper body. If you can lift the legs without any pain in the lower back, lift the legs. Inhale, lift. And lower down to the earth. Take a breath here. Push back. We're going to come into a puppy pose as the palms come forward, forehead to the earth, and the hips are up in the sky. Inhale, rise up, all fours. And we're going to come to another downward facing dog. And if downward facing dog is too much for you, if you have wrists or shoulders, I know some of you have some injuries, you can stay in, you can stay with all fours like this. So come back into a downward facing dog, up high on the toes again, bending the knees, and drop the right heel and then the left heel. Then come up high on the toes again. And now we're going to drop both heels over to the right side. And gaze under your left shoulder. Come back onto your toes and drop both heels to the opposite side and gaze under the right shoulder. Inhale, come back. Walk the feet towards your hands, towards the top of your mat. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise up. Bring the hands up overhead. And bring your hands in front of your hearts. And we're going to come into Tadasana. So let's gaze down at your feet. I like your feet to be about inner hip width apart here. Lift the toes, spread the toes as much as you can. Inhale, arms up overhead. Clasp the hands together. Draw the arm bones towards the ears here. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale over to the right side. Inhale up, and exhale over to the opposite side. And we'll do this again. Inhale up, and over, and up, and over. Beautiful. Come back to center, release your hands, and we're going to step our feet at a comfortable wide stance. So I don't want it to be so wide that you feel you don't really have your balance. I want you to be able to be wide enough so you feel in your strength. Take your hands to your hips. We're going to go from right to left here. A nice, easeful bend from one knee to the other. Go at your own rhythm. Do what feels good here. Opening up in the hips, opening up our hamstrings, taking care of our body, and our body takes care of us. So let's come back to center here. You're going to inhale, open up the arms up overhead, and exhale, open the arms and bow forward. You can bend the knees here and take your hands to the mat. So I want you, even if you can bow forward without bending your knees, if you can have the legs straight, I want you to bend your knees. I want you to try to create a dip in your lower back by sticking your hips out here. This is very healthy for the lumbar back and to help with our postures from all that sitting that I'm sure we're all doing. And then let's go from right to left again. Just do it a couple of times, moving a little deeper into our hips here. So Linda, if you want to use a chair, I don't know if that would help you to support your arms. Maybe that would help with a chair sometimes. So let's come back to neutral. Bend the knees, inhale, lengthen through your spine here, gazing forward. Exhale, we're gonna round our back like a cat, chin to the chest. Keep your knees bent. And let's do that again. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Make a dip in your lower back, gazing upwards. Exhale, press hands into the earth, chin to your chest, arch your back like a cat. Inhale, we'll do this a couple more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now let's finish with the last round. And let's take the hands to the hips, roll your shoulders up and back, and let's rise up. Bring your feet together. Let's come to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, let's bow forward. You can take your hands to your shins or to the floor. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, bring your hands back by your feet and step your right foot back. Drop your back knee to the earth. Let's take the right hand and place it on the earth. And we're going to twist and gaze over to the left and extend the left arm up. Opening up the heart and expanding to the sky. And we'll do the opposite side. Take the left leg back and the right leg forward. Pause here for breath, allowing the hips to sink up towards the earth, lengthening through your spine. Take the left hand to the mat here. And inhale, expand and open to the opposite side. Reaching for the heavens. Opening the heart as wide as the ocean. And let's bring that hand back. Take the right foot back. We'll lower down to the mat. Extend the hands behind. We'll come into Shalabhasana. Inhale, shoulders up and back. Try to see if you can draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Reach back here. Now tuck the tailbone here as you lift your feet. That helps to stabilize the lower back, the pelvic girdle. Inhale and stretch and lift a little more if you can, and release to the earth. Take your chin to your mat and let everything melt into the mat here for a breath. Deep inhale, long exhale. And place your hands on the mat. Come back, forehead to the earth. Let's come onto our knees. So we're going to do a couple of postures on our knees. So I have pretty bony knees, so I like to use a mat, a blanket when I'm doing some postures on my knees for a little bit. So you may want to have a blanket underneath your knees. So you're going to come onto your knees. Toes, so we're going to give our feet a little bit of love here. It might not feel like love at first, might feel like tough love, but I love this. It helps to open up the bottoms of our feet and the arches and the toes. You know, our foundation starts with the feet. So we're going to give our feet a little love here as we move into some shoulder postures. So if you have a strap or a scarf or a belt nearby, grab that. And if you don't, that's okay. You can do the posture without it. So if you have your strap, grab it in front of you. If not, you can grab your elbows and move like this as we use the strap. Inhale, pull the strap out in front of you, make it wide. Draw your shoulders up by the ears and back and bring the strap up overhead. And draw it back towards the back body. And let's bring the strap forward. Inhale up, pull the strap away from each other, and maybe you can bring the shoulder blades onto the back and open all the way to the back here. Inhale up. So we're going to move back and forth a couple of times, and I want you to move your own rhythm, okay? Forward and backwards. So let's all meet in the middle here. And if it's getting easy for you, then you can bring your hands in a little closer together. If it's difficult, make your hands a little wider. So bringing the straps in front of us, pull on your strap, draw the shoulder blades up and back. And the more you draw your shoulder blades on the back, the easier it is to get the strap up and around. Wonderful, everybody looks great. So bring the strap up, and we're going to bring the right hand over. The left arm moves behind the head. Inhale up, and the opposite side. So do that a couple of times. Again, opening up in our shoulders, helping to release any tension and stress in our neck. Do one more round. Inhale up, moving with your breath, keeping your awareness on your breath, and let's come back. Okay, did you forget about your feet? So let's come, release the toes. I'm going to take the hands behind us and roll back over the toes. This should feel wonderful after stretching the bottoms of the feet. And now we'll come back. I know you guys are just loving this. Sometimes I do a class on foot yoga. Some of the students have asked if we could do just reflexology. So let's come onto all fours. And we're going to do a cat and cow. Inhale, drop belly. Exhale, arch back and chin to the chest. Inhale, softening the heart to the earth. Exhale, press hands into the earth, arching, drawing chin into the chest. So do a couple rounds of this. First, initiating with the breath. And then let the body follow. See if you can get into your own flow like a wave of grace flowing through you. As the breath flowing in like grace, and the body is riding that wave of grace effortlessly. So we're going to finish with our last round. And then coming back onto our knees, going to use the blanket again for the knees. Coming up on the knees, curling the toes under, and we're going to come into camel. Our nice open shoulders. Let's first come into how wonderful. Open up the arms and the hands as such. This is how wonderful. Opening In the heart, draw the shoulder blades onto the back as much as you can. Now let's tuck the tailbone, drawing your buttocks down. Then inhale, open in the heart, gently tilting the head back. Beautiful. Now take your chin to your chest and take your hands to your hips. If you can take your right hand to your right heel and keep your chin to your chest to protect your neck, then do so. And then bring your right hand back. Take the left hand to the left heel. Keep your chin to your chest. And take your left hand back. And let's come back onto all fours. And we'll allow that flow of grace to move through the body with a cat and cow. A couple of cat and cows. Inhale and exhale. Curl toes under, and we'll come back onto our knees. Hands to the hips. Shoulder blades up and back. Again, draw that tailbone down, drawing your buttocks down, tucking the tailbone. That helps to protect our lower back by securing our pelvic girdle here. Inhale, opening up in the heart and chest. This time we're going to take the right hand. Inhale, open it up and draw it back to your right heel. And then bring that hand back. It's like you're doing a backstroke and then forward. And we'll do the opposite arm. And have the left arm up. Big circle backstroke. Take that hand back to your left heel. Now keep that tailbone tucked and bring the hand back. Beautiful. Come onto all fours. Again, connecting to that flow of grace as we move. Do a couple of cat and cows, neutralizing the spine as we move into a deeper back bend here. Deep inhale, long exhale. Coming back onto our knees. And we'll do our final camel posture. Again, so curl your toes under. If you're more open and you feel like you're ready to go deeper, you can have the tops of the feet on the mat if you like. Otherwise, have your toes curled under. Inhale, shoulders up and back. Draw the tailbone under to protect our lower back and root the knees into the earth. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine and open up in the heart as you draw your shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale, right hand up, reaching up for that backstroke. Take the hand to your right heel. And if you can, keep your hand here. Do so. And then take the left arm and reach up and bring it back. Keep your chin to your chest to protect your neck. Open up in the heart. If it feels okay to drop your head back, drop your head back. Left hand, right hand forward. Come on. Let's come on to all fours. Drop the hips to our heels. Walk the fingertips forward, forehead to the earth. Deep inhale, long exhale. Walk the fingertips over to the right. Inhale and exhale. Soften over your right knee. Walk the hands over to the left now. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, soften. And bring the hands back. And let's come on to our backs with the knees bent. Let the knees fall over to the right side. Open up the arms and gaze over to the left. Breathing into the belly. Exhaling long and releasing deeper into the twist. If you want to move a little deeper into the twist, you could take your right foot and place it on top of your left knee and move even deeper. With each breath, giving your body permission, asking your body to soften and unwind and let go. Bring the knees up, and we'll do the opposite side. So your feet are hip width apart, and let the knees fall over to the opposite direction and gaze over the opposite shoulder. Deep inhale, long exhale, sinking deeper into your twist. If you want to move deeper, you can take your left heel on top of the right knee. Inhale, deep, exhale, long. This is also very good for your organs. Softening. And let's come back. You can draw the knees into the chest. You can rock back and forth a little bit in a way that feels good. And we'll come into a happy baby posture. Grab the edges of your feet with your hands, drawing the knees towards the floor. Bring your awareness to your lower back and your tailbone and see if you can ask your lower back to soften towards the earth, releasing in the hips a little deeper. Take another breath here. Deep inhale and long exhale, and release the legs. Clasp your hands behind the thighs. We'll rock up to a seated posture. And we'll prepare for our meditation. So if you have a pillow or a blanket that you want to sit on, you can grab that. It's always good to place it under your hips to lift the hips up higher than your knees. And if you want to sit in a chair, you're welcome to do that. We'll be in meditation for just a couple of minutes. If you want to grab your cozy shawl, especially if you're here in Sweden. So once you're comfortable, bring your awareness to your breath. And close your eyes. And feel your forehead soften and shoulders soften down. Feel the weight of your hips on the earth. With your next breath, lengthen through your spine all the way to the crown of your head. Inviting the flow of grace into your mind, into your body, into your heart. With each breath, drawing in this light, the light of grace into every part of your being. And as you exhale, breathing out grace into your life. We'll stay here for a few more moments, breathing in the light of grace and breathing out the light of grace. Next inhale, taking a deep breath in, expanding with that light from your heart. Opening up your hands. Envision that light, your light, the light of your heart, holding it in your hands. As you bring your hands together, drawing in that light and honoring that light in ourselves and in each other. We'll close with one Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Honoring that light in my heart and the light of grace in your heart. Namaste. All right, thank you everybody for joining today. It's been so wonderful. Another day of gratitude. So tomorrow we'll be here at same time, same place. And if you miss a day, the recording will be available the next day. It takes us a little time, so it usually shows up in the afternoon. Some people have been messaging and asking, so it will get there. And I wish you all a beautiful, grace-filled day. Namaste.